6 3-point makes. That is the number of threes Amen Thompson has made over the last 20 games of this season. Despite that, he is averaging 16 points, 9.5 boards, 3.5 assists, and 3 stocks per game in those 20 matches. And he has gone from a good young player on a good team to a genuine young star on a very good team. The kind of young star who can win games against the Boston Celtics.
4.3 to go. Thompson on Brown into the lane. Got the shot. Oh! 0.7 to go. Thompson gives the Rockets the lead.
Yeah, that was Amen Thompson's game winner from his recent game against Boston, in which he showed the entire world just how great he is, going off for 33, 10 and 4, and saying this in the post-game interview.
That felt great. You know, I knew it was going in. I knew it was in our breath. That's my first game winner. I feel like Kobe.
And this was just a couple of days after he had gone off for a 23-point triple-double against the first-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers. It's one thing when a young player can have great games against weaker competition, but when a second-year player is the best player on the floor in games against the likes of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland, you start to realize this guy is pretty special. And what makes Amen so special is he can influence the game in every single way. Well, aside from hitting threes, but we need to stop asking how good Amen Thompson could be if he had a jump shot. We just need to rephrase that question to how good can Amen Thompson be regardless. And I don't think any of us have an answer yet, but I will say as of now, he's playing like a legitimate all-star level player. Just look at him here bringing the ball up the floor. Holiday comes to set a back screen on Rui, and look at the quickness of Amen's crossover, but then just his ability to jump like he shot out of a cannon, floating through a crowd of defenders to finish. Oh, and then he can also just simply sprint straight past defenders, like here against Alec Burks, who is backtracking but is not back far enough, as Amen just goes straight past him like he's not there. It's also the change of direction as well, like watch here with Kuzma, giving him all of that space. Amen sets him up like he's driving right, and then just a filthy step inside, absorbing the hit from Kuzma for what should have been an and one. And if you want any idea as to how freakish Amen Thompson is as an athlete, this is what Steven Adams had to say about his athleticism.
No, one of a kind, bro. I haven't played with anyone like this. His speed is just like unbelievable. And just his second jump, first jump is so quick off the ground. It's crazy, bro. I actually haven't seen like that type of athleticism, to be honest.
Guys, Steven Adams played with prime Russell Westbrook and Ja Morant, and he was asked after saying that about the comparisons between Russ and Amen, and basically said whilst Amen clearly can't do what Russ was doing yet, the speed that he has is just unlike anything he has ever seen. And just to emphasize that, JJ Redick said the same thing after the game against LA. There definitely is a difference in the 1% of 1% athletes, and he's one of them. I think all NBA guys are in the 1% of the general population. He's in the 1% of the NBA population. This is what we're talking about with Amen Thompson, and this is relevant in every aspect of his game. But I think you particularly see it on defense, where he makes plays from positions that shouldn't be possible. Like here, where he's not even in the picture on this possession, but comes out of nowhere to block Drew Holiday's shot. But more impressively, look at him toe tap the sideline like a wide receiver, keeping the ball in play for Fred. Or, you know, something that a lot of 6'7" players can do, which is guard someone like Evan Mobley, sticking with him on the body bumps, and then as the 7-foot Mobley goes up, he somehow gets even higher to block his shot. And if you're wondering, that was not a fluke.
You blocked Evan Mobley on a post-up attempt. Evan Mobley is 7 feet tall. Are you surprising yourself at this point?
No, come on. I do that.
Or a play like this, with Amen backtracking in transition against a 2-on-1. He does a good job at stunting at Paul initially, and then when the pass is made, look at him just hang in the air before blocking George. Let me emphasize that he was just hovering in midair, and it'd be one thing if he was just making highlight plays like this, but he also has a ridiculous motor on both ends of the floor, playing up to 40 minutes a night, chasing around the best guards on the opposition, just like his brother. And this play right here might be even crazier than any of the plays I have shown you so far. Watch him guarding Ja in semi-transition. Ja bumps him, and pause here. There is zero chance a man can block that shot, right? I mean, he's on his heels and Ja is already at full extension near the rim. Well, somehow a man manages to recover from that position and block his shot. Do you guys see how insane that is? And it's this quick twitch ability on his jumping that makes him such a threat in so many ways. Not just as a scorer or as a defender, but also as a rebounder. Oh, yes, it might not be the most fashionable part of basketball, but when you are 6'7" and routinely recording 12 to 14 board games, it needs to be mentioned. And in particular, it needs to be mentioned considering he is now averaging 11 boards a game since becoming a starter, with a large number of those boards coming on the offensive glass. Watch him here where Whitmore drives into the paint. Even with Niang aware of a man, he's just way too springy as he gets up for the board off the miss. Not quite getting the tip, but he's smart enough on the second opportunity to wait before kicking it out for the open three. And then of course, he does what so many other great players do, which is clean up his own misses. Like here where he drives into the chest of Dean Wade, unable to get the shot on the first attempt, but he's just so quick off the floor that he effortlessly gets up for the putback. These were 3 of 9. 9 offensive rebounds he had in a recent victory against Cleveland. And as you can see on these clips, it's not just his ability to jump higher than everyone or even his willingness to jump more often than everyone, it's also his IQ, which shows up all across the floor. We all saw The Last Dance and Dennis Rodman explaining offensive rebounding. I'm not sure if a man is quite on that level, but clearly there is an understanding which some players have that leads to them constantly being in the right spot at the right time. But just getting back to his offense for a second, a lot of people will be questioning how his scoring will hold up in the playoffs. How will his scoring hold up teams sagging off in the half court? Well, that's been the case for this entire regular season. And one thing a man has done really well over this recent stretch of games is, in addition to his obvious strength of getting to the rim in transition or in the half court, he's starting to attack the space presented to him when he gets the ball on the perimeter. This is what I mean. He gets the ball at the 3-point line. Ty Jerome is sagging off on him, but instead of shooting, he eats up that space, driving right, patiently bumping his way inside, and then hooking it in. Or again, this time against Evan Mobley, who is sagging off, so a man attacks him, and with Mobley backpedaling, he pivots inside for the little fadeaway. This is something that guys like Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, De'Aaron Fox, Russell Westbrook have always been great at doing. If you can use that space, which the defender is giving you because of your lack of shooting, it can also be a strength. And Demen is also incorporating more floaters, more little mid-range shots, more turnaround jumpers to his game, and I think that is more important right now than developing an okay or mediocre 3-point shot. As of right now, a man doesn't need to be taking any advice from anyone. He just needs to continue putting up 17, 10, and 5 a game and being one of the best players on one of the best teams in the NBA. That's pretty good for someone in his second year. Now, if you made it to the end of the video and did enjoy it, consider subscribing, dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day. Bye.